Today is Wednesday, June 20th, 2018. SoundCloud expands their emerging artist program. SoundCloud, which is one of the most used streaming platforms for musicians primarily creating music in the electronic and hip-hop genres, recently extended their first on SoundCloud emerging artist discovery campaigns to Germany and the UK. So what does a campaign entail? Well, a handful of select artists will have physical posters and mural advertisements in high traffic locations, and will also be featured on the SoundCloud app, its social media accounts, and its newsletters. SoundCloud CEO Carrie Trainer said, quote, "We are excited to expand the First on SoundCloud campaign to Europe to celebrate top emerging talent from the UK and Germany's dance, electronic, and hip-hop communities who began their careers on SoundCloud First." And here's something to note if you're interested in being selected for this particular campaign. Any musician who uploads original tracks with the hashtag SCFirst will be given a chance to be promoted by SoundCloud via its social media, playlists, newsletters, and blog posts. Using the campaign's hashtag may also grant you fast-track consideration for SoundCloud Premiere, the company's direct monetization program. The internet's most famous yodeling kid. Who remembers the 11-year-old kid whose yodeling cover of Hank Williams' song Lovesick Blues went viral? If you don't recall the story, a kid by the name of Mason Ramsey put up a video on the internet in which he was yodeling the aforementioned Hank Williams song, and it went viral quickly. After appearing on The Ellen Show as well as performing at the iconic Grand Ole Opry in Nashville and at Coachella with Post Malone, this little dude has some more good news to report. He recently inked a deal with both Atlantic Records and the Nashville-based Big Loud Records. If you're curious about the pipes on this young guy, you can check out a studio recording of his latest single titled Famous on your go-to streaming platform. Now, this is a good story for Mason. Congratulations, my man. Nice work. But the quick point I wanted to touch on is this. While Mason has accomplished something in a short period of time that is very astonishing to all of us musicians out there, is that really the case? That's the question I want to ask. How many local artists do you know who have been grinding for years and years, having what you would consider more talent than this little dude? I'm sure that you'll run out of fingers counting, but before you get that blood pressure raising, consider this. Yes, this is obviously a cash grab from the labels, there is no question about it. But how much longevity do you think will be had by Mason in the industry? If I was to guess, it would be perhaps fulfilling whatever contract he has signed with these two labels, and then we probably won't hear from him again. There's something to be said about paying your dues in this industry and creating experiences during your career, either good or bad, that mold you into a career-sustaining musician. Throughout these experiences, most of us will learn when to call BS on a particular situation, what our musical strengths are, and we put in the blood, sweat, and tears to build a dedicated fan base. I'll say that one more time, a dedicated fan base. These are the folks that will help us ensure that our careers are sustainable in the industry. So the next time you hear about these quote viral stars, I will tell you, take a step back, take a deep breath, because what you are doing is most likely going to lead you to a more sustainable career. Beyonce and Jay-Z versus the Pirates. Following a release strategy that I would not recommend to any artist who hasn't garnered multiple #1 Billboard hits, Beyonce and Jay-Z dropped a surprise album over this weekend, and the strategy was as follows. Window or quote restrict the release to Tidal for a few days and then put it up on other popular streaming platforms. This sounds about standard for the power couple, but there was one more catch. Only allow paying customers on these streaming platforms to listen to the album. So what was the result? As you can imagine, torrenting channels are seeing a huge spike in illegal downloads of this album. And although the album is shooting up the Billboard charts, could they have done bigger numbers if they didn't restrict the album to only paying customers on streaming services? My Magic 8 Ball is telling me yes, and it's also telling me that I've said the word album too many times in this particular story. Amoeba Music is relocating in Hollywood. Good news, everybody. According to Variety.com, the Amoeba Records brick-and-mortar shop in Hollywood isn't going to shut down after its lease is up early next year. It's just going to relocate. There are 3 nearby properties which are being considered for the move, with 2 of these locations resting along Hollywood Boulevard. And according to co-owner Mark Weinstein, these new locations are just 15% smaller than the current building, and the decision for them to stay in Hollywood outweighs the benefits of relocating to somewhere else in Los Angeles. And not to be outdone by the additional perks their Berkeley location offers. Once the new Hollywood location is finalized, Weinstein says that the company will be diligent in securing the necessary permits from the city of Los Angeles for its own dispensary. And this is a big victory for all brick and mortar stores across the globe, because if you talk to the common music consumer, I'm confident that a lot of them haven't bought a physical record in over 5 years. So big ups to Amoeba Records in Hollywood. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for listening. I hope you learned something, and give a high five to someone today for me. All right, talk to you tomorrow.